Now this video is for my integrated 4 students and their parents. Here's my contact information. Make note that my conference period is 8th period. Of course, my email or my phone if you want to ever get in contact with me. As an integrated 4 class, if you are a senior, then this is the final class you would be in. But if you are a junior, then you would have the option of going to pre-calc as a senior. I'm not going to take the time to read the course description or the course rationale. You can pause the video to read that if you so choose. But in short, it is the second half of Integrated 3. So with Integrated 3 and Integrated 4 combined, that is Algebra 2 equivalent. So we have to cover all the Algebra 2 material between both classes. So Integrated 4 would be the second half of Algebra 2, which is why you see we're starting in Chapter 5 of the Algebra 2 book. You will not have a textbook to carry around as we have gone one-to-one. Our textbook will be on our laptops. So can't emphasize enough the supply list here. You have your normal paper, pencil folder, the laptop that we have supplied, and the stylus. Okay, so you guys can go buy your own fancy stylus if you wish, but the supply store here has stylus for 40 cents, and I'm going to have a stock of stylus here in this classroom that I can offer you one for the same price, or even maybe even a cheaper than that, depending how cheap I can buy them for myself. But I want to offer them here in the class so you guys don't have to always walk down to the supply room. But one way or the other, we need to have a stylus as we are going to be utilizing these laptops, because if you fold them backwards it becomes a tablet and we can write on those. So I'd like to try to explore that this year. At the end of the year, after we get through our second half of Algebra 2, we're going to start geometry, which is a little bit more complex than the geometry that was given to you in Integrated 3. The grading scale is the same as Integrated 3. You have 3 categories. Carnegie, we're going to, especially since we have laptops, we don't need to go to the computer lab to do Carnegie. We can do that here, and we're going to try to do that 2 times a week. Your homework and your tests are split between 35 and 40%. I just gave you an example here. If you fail all of your summative, okay, and ace your homework in Carnegie, then that average still to a 60%. So I know the test is weighted the heaviest in terms of percentages, but that homework and that Carnegie really do add up, especially if I offer bonus. All right, if I offer bonus here, then those percentages go even higher. So take advantage of those opportunities. Okay. Moving forward, Carnegie, by the way, is updated this year. So if you're familiar with Carnegie last year, they came out with a whole new software that is, I think you guys will love. Here are one of the most important part about my classes, that you can reassess any test. Okay, even if you got a 92%, I mean you want something higher, you can reassess it. All we have to do is sit down, or you and a friend sit down and try to correct all the mistakes that you've missed on that test, and come show me that you've made those corrections, and we'll give you another test, and I'll average those 2 tests together. So what a great way to improve your grade in this class. All that I ask is that you give me or reassess those a week before the grading period ends. And here are those dates. In-class work daily, especially with these laptops. We're going to be notes is very key in here, and we're going to be having those in our laptops, so we're not even shouldn't even be able to lose them, right? And there are going to be files on our laptop, so you can as long as you got to take good notes, because you can use those on your tests and quizzes in here. So very important. The daily activities will be formative practice, which is just like practice problems that we work together in class, and then I can see that you guys are understanding the lesson that was delivered that day. And then you guys can have homework. But that homework and those homework problems are crucial for you to understand, because I'm going to use those exact same topics and put those on the tests and the quizzes. I'm not wasting your time with homework. It's not busy work. I'm saying here are your test questions. Make sure you take this home and you understand them. And if you don't, then we need to get those questions answered in class either that day or the following day. Late work is going to be an individual one-by-one basis. So depending on how well prepared you're coming to class, what kind of effort you're putting forth, I'm going to give you extended time if you need it. Okay, everybody in here learns at a different pace, and I understand that. But if you're putting your best foot forward and are trying your best, you're not distracted in class, then we're going to have a great year. And I'll work with you to try to achieve whatever you want to achieve in this class. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the following page. So in order to be successful in this class, here's what I would consider the most important parts. Good notes, very key, because you're allowed using them on your test and quizzes. Hand it in on time because it builds upon itself. All right, you probably hear that every single year, but it's so true. So don't get behind. If you are absent in here, all right, with these new laptops, you can access the lessons for that day that you were absent. I record our lessons in here, and you can literally watch the videos and learn what we learned that day at home. So you could technically be absent in this class, but not really be absent because you were watching the video and you were able to see what we did that day and come back the next day prepared and ready to go. So that would be considered putting in that extra effort. If you want it, I'm going to give you the materials and the support to get it. But be in school. Those videos are better than what we ever had in years past, but sometimes I pause those videos and we have a lot of classroom discussions that help everybody understand the material in more depth. So the more that you hear, the better, and this is true every year, the better your grades will be. So most important I want to say to parents is have parent access or get parent access. So you can, I give daily participation points in here, and I just record the daily activities. This person was on his phone, this person was talking the whole time, this person slept, and or anything that happens, it's all recorded. And not only do you lose points on it, but it's recorded for write-ups and things of that sort. All that I ask is you guys come in here and do your best every day. So, and it's on there for everyone to see, your administrators, your parents, and myself. So just take and be aware of the participation, please. Okay, seek additional help. My planning period is 8th period, and I'm here till 3:15 every single day. Okay, but come see me. I'll work with you, and if you need some extra explaining, I will help you out. All right, so here are the rules that I'm going to set forth. So you need to become prepared. All right, if you don't have these things, then you're not going to be learning. So that's going to be a red flag automatically. So, and be on time. If you're not going to be here on time, and it's for a good reason, okay, you need to go get a note from the previous teacher, okay? Or if you're leaving a class period and you're just late gathering your stuff around, ask that teacher for a note, okay? So, but be here on time otherwise. You guys, when you guys got your laptops, all right, everything in these computers is recorded. Everything that you go and do on the internet is recorded. Just use use your heads before you guys do anything that could prosecute you or ruin your reputation. So as far as this in here, don't be disruptive in any way. I have certain goals that I'll have up here on an agenda up here on the board every day, things that I want to get done in the class period, and just don't disrupt that flow. Do everything in your power to help me to make sure that that agenda is accomplished, and I'll let you know what you need to do that. Dress code, so obviously no hats, Make sure in your uniforms for your labs, working towards being in that career. So we're trying to be at a career center. That's another reason why we have these laptops. It's the world. It's the world that you live in. It's the career fields that you're going into expect you to have these skills. And being properly dressed, having the social skills for interviews, and and then of course your actual hands-on skills are all the same when you're trying to get that job. So cell phones, there's no need to have them. You can have them on you, but with the amount of cheating and the amount of resources that goes on anymore with mathematics especially, I cannot have them in this classroom. Out. You can have them in a bag, that's fine, but on silent, out of sight. Consequences. So I might do one or two warnings here, depending on the situation. I mean, everything is so different, and I'm just going to warn you and say, that's not acceptable. I really don't want that to happen in here, and we'll move on. And if you can understand that and not continue to cause that disruption or misbehavior, then we'll move on to the next thing. But if it keeps continuing, okay, I'm going to pull you aside. I mean, just at some point, maybe during lunch, maybe it's after class, maybe it's before class the following day. Well, I will talk to you one-on-one and say, okay, this is your one-on-one warning. Okay, I mean, I've had it, and this is my final draw before I have to contact your mom and dad. So, of course, that's step 3. And after we talk to parents, maybe we can get us figure out whatever the problem is. And if that doesn't work, then we'll have to move this to an administration situation and have them deal with whatever the situation is. So with that, let's have a good, solid, fun year. And if you and your parents can both sign this, and then that will be it. Thank you.